Have you ever imagined a Kenya where every school and home and business has access to reliable power? No blackouts. That means kids can study in the night, businesses don't lose hours of work, and hospitals don't need to run on fumes from generators. When I'm on set, the idea of a sudden blackout honestly gives me anxiety. I could be in the middle of an interview and then boom, lights out. That means content gets lost and we never really know when power is going to be back.
So a prudent government will come up with policies that boost production. When you have more production in the country, you're able to collect more in terms of tax. And with the money that you have collected from tax, you're able to do your social program, education being one of them. You saw yesterday they were launching a bulb in Taita Taveta. They want us to celebrate that they have launched a bulb. You know, when you discuss electricity as a country or energy, you should not be discussing energy in terms of the light bulb. You should be discussing energy as a factor of production, that I want to use this energy to boost the manufacturing sector, to boost industry, so that if somebody wants to set up a plant and machinery in Kenya, you will ask himself, how much megawatts of energy are they producing? Kenya produces today 3,000 megawatts. How much are they consuming? They are consuming 2,600. So your surplus is negligible, because with the 3,000 production and your consumption is almost like this. I will not put up a plant that requires 5,000 megawatts because your capacity is not able to meet my needs. But we should be discussing that we've enhanced the national grid from 3,000 megawatts to 10,000 megawatts. So that if anybody wants to set up plant and machinery here, you'll be saying, I can look into Kenya, I'm seeing their production is 14,000 megawatts. Their consumption today is 3,000 megawatts. They have a surplus energy of 10,000. Okay. So if I will need 3,000 megawatts, I will not have a problem because I'm just taking off what is the surplus. But you're discussing energy based on a light bulb. I mean, that is such a micro issue that should not even attract the attention of a president. But it attracts the attention of William Ruto. You think the country can grow because you're putting light bulbs in people's houses? I mean, let's be serious. Let's be serious. Okay.
Tunataka production, tunataka factories. Mambo ya kwenda pale unapatia watu sijui machines, umewapatia machine, umewaambia mahali wanaenda kusimama, umewaletea customer, hujawaletea, hawana wako the same problem. Unafaa useme nimewapatia machine, nimewatengenezea structure, enda pale kuna maji, mwende mwanze kazi. Na customer ni hawa. Si kuwapiga kipindi pale. Tunatuambia sasa umefanya empowerment. Empowerment tunataka ulaunch industries. Ulaunch factory, hiyo ndio empowerment. Tunajua kesho huyu wote hatuwezi fanya kazi ya mjengo, tutaenda pale tutafute kazi. Hiyo ndio empowerment. Lakini hii propaganda nafanya hapa PR na kudance na kusema unaona watoto wa maskini wako hapa. Ule jamaa alitoka pale. Kesho hata hiyo machine asipopata pesa ya kununua license ama maji, hiyo machine imsaidii.
From Ethiopia to Kenya, Tanzania and the Democratic Republic of Congo, what appears to be a dam race is taking place. Barely 2 weeks after Ethiopia inaugurated its mega hydropower dam, the largest in Africa, Kenya is reviving its nearly $3 billion dam project. The High Grand Falls Dam along Kenya's Tana River is expected to generate up to 700 megawatts of electricity. That's enough power to light up 5 million homes in the East African nation. The project was terminated earlier this year by the government for yet-to-be disclosed reasons. Kenya's Energy Permanent Secretary Alex Washira revealed on Thursday, September 18th, that a technical committee has been formed on the proposed dam, with works expected to be done in the next 5 years. Washira stressed the project will be a game changer. So why is Kenya and its neighbors going all in on the mega dam projects? Simple: energy independence. These countries are tapping into their own natural resources to fuel growth, create jobs, and end frequent blackouts. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD, is Africa's largest hydroelectric dam with a height of 476 feet and a length of nearly 1.8 kilometers. Constructed at $5 billion and inaugurated on 9th September, the GERD is in a league of its own. It's expected to generate up to 6,450 megawatts, which can power approximately 4.2 million homes and spur economic growth. Tanzania also boasts a megadam, the Julius Nyerere hydropower project. Named after the country's founding leader, the $2.9 billion dam completed earlier this year is expected to generate 2,115 megawatts on full operation. And in the DRC, plans are finally moving for the mother of all dams, the Grand Inga Dam. It's a project consisting of several hydropower stations. Upon completion, it could generate approximately 40,000 megawatts, with some experts projecting that it could power much of the African continent and become the largest hydropower dam in the world. Uganda also boasts the 600 megawatt Karuma hydropower station commissioned in 2024 by President Yoweri Museveni. From Kenya's 700 megawatts to the DRC's potential 40,000 megawatts, Africa is literally harnessing its rivers to power its future. Several other African countries have their hydropower dams too, adding electricity to their national grids and boosting agriculture. The continent also has huge potential in solar and wind energy. So, which mega dam project are you most excited about? Tell us in the comments.
In 2011, Ethiopia embarked on one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects in Africa's modern history, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD, which stands today as the continent's largest hydroelectric dam. Rising on the Blue Nile, this $5 billion project was designed not just to generate power, but to reshape Ethiopia's economy, reposition its role in the region, and signal the country's arrival as an emerging economic force. But to understand the scale of this transformation, we need to look at what Ethiopia was before the first concrete was poured. Ethiopia entered the 21st century with enormous potential but deep structural challenges. As Africa's second most populous country with over 120 million people, it had more than half of its population lacking access to electricity as recently as 2022. Its industrial capacity was limited, and agriculture, employing the majority of its workforce, remained highly vulnerable to climate shocks. Without affordable, reliable energy, Ethiopia's economic ambitions were constrained. Yet the country had a powerful natural asset, the Blue Nile. Harnessing it was not just an energy project, it was an economic imperative. The launch of GERD in 2011 marked a strategic shift. Unlike many mega projects financed by external lenders, GERD was largely funded through domestic resources, government bonds, citizen contributions, and public investment. This financing model reduced foreign debt exposure while reinforcing the project's role as a national investment in long-term growth. And GERD was positioned as more than infrastructure. It was a platform for economic modernization. At full capacity, GERD now produces more than 5,000 megawatts of electricity, nearly doubling Ethiopia's existing supply. This surplus unlocks several key economic drivers: industrialization. Reliable energy enables manufacturing zones, agro-processing hubs, and digital infrastructure. Job creation, new industries and services supported by stable power create employment at scale. Competitiveness. Lower electricity costs reduce production expenses, making Ethiopia more attractive to investors. Beyond domestic consumption, Ethiopia's energy strategy is regional. With interconnectors already linking Ethiopia to Sudan, Djibouti, and Kenya, and future connections planned towards South Sudan and Tanzania, the GERD is poised to make Ethiopia the largest power exporter in East Africa. Electricity exports are expected to generate about $1 billion annually in foreign exchange earnings, helping stabilize the macroeconomy while strengthening Ethiopia's integration into the East African market. Though primarily an energy project, GERD also enhances water management capacity. By regulating Blue Nile flows, Ethiopia can reduce flood risks, support irrigation schemes, and adapt to climate volatility. This integration of energy and agriculture strengthens food security and underpins long-term economic resilience. As GERD starts full operation, Ethiopia gains more than electricity, it gains regional influence. Controlling a critical upstream resource provides Addis Ababa with leverage in economic and political negotiations. It shifts the historical balance, positioning Ethiopia not as a peripheral economy, but as a regional power shaping East Africa's growth trajectory. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is not simply a dam. It is an economic engine designed to accelerate industrial growth, trade integration, and regional competitiveness. It demonstrates how strategic infrastructure investment can drive structural transformation while reinforcing national independence in financing and execution. For Ethiopia, GERD represents more than energy security. It is a foundation for long-term economic development and a central pillar in its bid to emerge as one of Africa's next growth leaders.
Hi Kenyans, mi sina maneno mengi. All I want to say is Ruto must go, like yesterday. Bye.
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda, so kanapenda toto chupa na haga nono.
Madam na kudai, umedunga mini na unapenda mangwai. Una dance fit, unawacha nikismile. Ama niko high, jua lies even nice.
Kono moja mbele, gine yende rembe. Pile up, yoni.
Enyewe, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. Wash fire, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go.